Banks, regulators and fintechs collaborating to fight financial crime was the key theme in the compliance sessions of Sibos 2018. And with real-time payments changing the compliance paradigm, there's hope that artificial intelligence and other new technologies could also hold some answers.
3 to 5% of global GDP is tied into financial crimes. It's a tremendous number. The aspect of crime is almost unfathomable for us, either for overwhelmed government authorities or for individual financial institutions to try and figure out where do you even focus next. And the issue for the individual financial institutions is, by definition, you only see part of a chain.
One of the things about this, right, is that if you get that single alert, and that single alert in and of itself may not be valuable, how do you use technology to group those alerts together, right? And do you see a pattern?
I have to say I'm really excited about the problems that you've described, because we have products that solve those problems. Tool after tool after tool is being built to simplify not just the automatic work of identifying bad actors and identifying criminal activity, but improving the work experience of every one of the professionals that's trying to solve those problems, right? Some of ML is about replacing people, some of it is about augmenting them and giving them superpowers.
So in HSBC, we do screen 1.2 million payments a day. We stop about 75,000 of those payments. And we are applying now machine learning and AI to close about 35,000 of those alerts a day. You know, a person works those final alerts. But that's for us a real move and a huge step forward to ensure that we can meet that demand of real-time payments.
Financial crime and regulators also go together, and while collaborating with regulators may not come naturally to some, there was plenty of push from multiple delegates to try harder in that regard.
So I like the idea of regulators trying to act as a catalyst to solve some of the problem. I do tend to think, though, that we too often in the industry default to a regulator needs to tell us what to do or need to have permission to do something. And I think that's quite a limiting mindset to adopt.
The challenge with regulators, you know, and this, you know, gotcha mentality, right? You're afraid to try new things in order to advance your program. We really need to have a spirit of innovation, a spirit of it's okay to fail, as we try to make the markets a better place.
Fintechs weren't left out. If you're going to collaborate, they've got to be included in the mix.
As the money launderers work together in this space, equally the community and the banks need to do that. And equally, I don't think it's just banks. We have to learn from fintechs, different industries in this sense as well.
Banks, we tend to hold on to that idea that we had and we kind of prosecute it to death and we give it a little bit more funding and we take it back to the sponsor. We're not very good at going, that's the wrong way, let's go in another direction. And I think that's the key piece we can learn from fintech.
So in this world of newer, even faster payment methods where the risk of crime is growing, it seems everyone is taking responsibility for financial crime compliance.
The way we've been thinking about it at Standard Chartered is very much around our due diligence in relation to the client and the role we can play to help educate them, to help them build their own programs up, to come inside the regulated sector so that the monitoring, the screening, the sort of filing of SARS sits with them. And the role for us as a bank is ensuring that they've got that type of framework in place.
Collaboration and industry collaboration around fraud and compliance is exceptional, and I think that there's a really good, strong sense of goodwill in the industry to, you know, raise standards, to deliver industry best practice and to help drive efficiencies, because ultimately what we want is really good regulatory outcomes.
You could have 3 or 4 different entities in the mix, and every entity is going to look at that payment a little bit different through their AML monitoring. So along the way, if everybody did have full transparency, which I really would love to see in this industry, if we all had that along the same chain, and similar to a gimlet model, all did collaborate together, law enforcement would have such great information.